and I will term it as quicker sessions. And in these quicker sessions, we will describe in 5 minutes period the very quick supports in R. So today, in the first session, we would start describing on the central tendencies, and as I would like to describe the mean, median, mode, and geometric mean that we actually commonly use in epidemiology. So our very first session, we will start with the arithmetic mean, or commonly named as average or mean. So the central tendency actually puts forth the central figure or central observation point within a distribution. And here we designate this as mean, median, mode, and geometric means. Harmonic means is of very rare consideration in basic epidemiology, so it won't be considered for this session. So to begin with, where does the average stands? So for mean, the average is the average of the weight. So it's the weight average. That means if you consider a pivot and for the distribution, the mean is arithmetic mean is actually forming that pivot that balances the weight of the distribution on both sides. Then coming to the point of median. So median is the average that is based on the positions, or you may call it the positional average. And median is actually centrally positioned observation. Then coming to the next part that is mode, which is the frequency average. So it is the centrally tending observation that is based on your frequency. And finally, the geometric mean. From your maths classes, you may be knowing much better than me that geometric mean is for tending a growth rate. So before I begin with, let's have a data first. So I'll create a data for you. So number one is, let's name our data set as D, and this D becomes column of say 2, 5, then 7, then 8, then 9, 10. So this is your data set. Now in this data set, let's have the distribution first. And the frequency distribution of this continuous data set is always noted by histogram. So let's have the histogram, for which I would write hist, and we'll place this data set D, and you have your histogram over here where you can see what is the distribution of this data. And you may also like to know the central tendency. So as we had written earlier, that your central tendency is first of all the mean. So mean here means the weight average. Let's first determine what the mean here is. So as you know, mean is equal to sum of the values divided sum of the values, so I call them x, and divided by the length of the data set that I call also of the data set D. So let's determine what is the mean, and I'll write as mean of D, as we have named the data set, and you get the mean as 6.83. Now how to verify this? So let's find out. Say for example, your sum of this data set is S. So S is sum of your D, and you get S value. So S is 41. If you sum up these values 2, 5, 7, 8, 9, 10, it becomes 41. And if you want to know the length of the series, so you will actually write length, and then you will put the dataset name, and you get there are 6 values, 2, 5, and 7, and 8, 9, 10. So the mean here would be m, that is your. So let's first name this length. So length is L, and we say L is equal to length of D. So L has been defined, and if M is the mean of this data set, M is equal to S by L, and you get M. So now the value of M is similar to what we had actually got from the mean value, 6.833333. So you can see that the 6.83 is the pivot here. And you can see in the data set that D has, in this data set, it will be around here, some around here, somewhere. And this will be the pivot weight average. Now, the next part is the median. So as I have told you, what is median? So median is the positional average. So when I say median is the positional average, you need to position the values in an order. So it might have been that the order is 5, 2, 7, 9, 8, 10, but here the values are ordered. But still, I would like to show how to order them. So to do that, you have the function sort, and you place it D. So if you want to sort D, now they have sorted it. Say, take a different example. If I had taken D1 with the same values, say for example 5, 2, then 7, then 5, 2, then 8, then 7, then 10, then 9. So you have just one typo, and type it again. So it becomes 5, and then 2, then 8, then 7, then 10, then 9, and I have again made the typo C. So you have got D1. Now if you want to know the mean of D1, it must be similar to D, and here it is. So we wanted to know how the sorting differentiates. So have a look at it. Sort D1, and it becomes in the same order as that of this. Sort D and sort D1 looks same. Now you want to get the median of D and median of D1. So let's find out. And obviously the median of D you get as 7.5. And if you want to know the median of D1, you will also get 7.5. But what happens if you don't do this? So let's write it as D2 and make it as 5, then 8, then 2, then 7, then 9, then 10. 5, 8, 2, 7, 9, 10, the same data set. And I want to find the median here. So the median of D2, and yes, when you do the median, you want to know the median, the sort function is there inside, and they actually calculate accordingly. So you need not sort when you are using the median function. Now let's move to our next point, that is mode. So for mode will be the frequency-based average. So the frequency-based central tendency. So the observation that is having the highest number of frequencies or highest frequency in the entire observation, the frequency-based. If you want to look at the frequency, so let's first try out one thing. We will tabulate this data. We have to tabulate this data to find out the central tendency. To do that, you may do one aspect, T, for table of D, and you get a table, and if you want to look at T, see the observation value means the number of frequencies have been mentioned below, and you want to know now how to do it. So the mode will be, so the mode here is mode and then names of your T, and then you write which your T is actually max of T, and you get the mode. And if you want to know the mode, it's there. Everyone is here as mode because each has the same frequency. So let's try out a bit different. We used D2 here, so now D3. So in D3, we'll put it as column of 5, 5, 8, 2, 7, 9, 10. So I have increased one 5, and again I will do the same thing. So now I will name it as T1, and T1 is the table of D3. And now if you look at the table, look, it has shown the frequency over here, and I will use the same function. So instead of T, I will just put T1 here, and I want to know the mode here, and now look at the mode. So now the mode is 5. It's not showing all the data. I hope it's clear from what I have described here. Now, the next part. So you want to know all these details. So let's have a summary of T3. And you get the mean, the median, and also the minimum, the first quartile, then median, then mean, then the third quartile, and the maximum. So you get all these observations or the measures of central tendency along with a range note also. So you have been given the mean and max, and you have been given the first quarter and the quartile and the third quarter. And if you want to know the mean of the first data, say this first column, so let's have it. So now you can see that our value is same. The median was 7.5, here it is 7.5, mean is also 6.83, and the range here is 2 to 10, and also the first quartile and third quartile have been given here.